Alright, so in this video, I'm going to discuss three residencies. It could either be temporary or permanent based on your circumstances. It all depends upon the thresholds that you can obtain in a single day. Typically, I always advise keep 1 to 3 days aside. I'm going to explain the details where this matters. And the first option that I'm going to discuss has the strongest passport in the world. The second option that I'm going to discuss has a territorial tax system. It has some of the lowest personal income taxes and also some of the lowest corporate taxes. People get this for tax optimization. So that's going to be second on the list. And the third on the list is the fastest, one of the fastest citizenships and also one of the strongest citizenships that you can obtain. The first one that I'm going to discuss, you literally get the card on the same day in the office. With our attorneys, we do all the lifting, the heavy lifting ahead of time. So that's all cleared and done. And I'm talking about the card part, right? So let's say you have the visa or don't need the visa to enter, and you're only looking at a conversion, or rather, let's say getting the card from inside. And yes, certain situations you can get the card directly from inside. Once you're in, let's say you're flying on a certain day, on the same day we can get you your temporary or permanent residency, and this is the Mexican option. The Mexican nationality is one of the most strongest citizenships or nationalities in the world. I wanted to take some time and explain this. A lot of people go to various passport ranking websites and they look at the visa free or visa on arrival categories. Those keep shifting and changing all the time. The reason why the Mexican nationality is the strongest is because it has functional capabilities. It has functional access, not just the visa free access. So it has the ETA to Canada, that's good. It has TN to the US, so that's very powerful. Don't ask me what TN is. Look it up online, do some research. You'll come to know that's such a powerful way of accessing the US market. That's the second advantage. It has excellent Latin and South American coverage. Of course, it's in the area. It's a strong passport. It's going to have all of those countries. It has UK, Ireland, Schengen, all of that, right? So the visa free is there. It also has something very unique and special, which is the APEC full membership access. So you do get access to countries, and this is business access. Okay, we're not talking about visa free. This is business access, including expedite immigration clearance in countries like Australia, New Zealand, Chile, Peru, South Korea, Japan, Russia, and the list goes on, right? All the important countries that matter. So you get this all packed in this one powerful nationality. So in that sense, this is a very useful citizenship. Now, if you're looking at the thresholds, right, how do you qualify for this? The most of you guys watching do qualify for the Mexican option. There's no donation, no golden visa fee. This is almost a free option, a no-brainer. And most of my clients do get this one, right? This is a staple in every portfolio. This is a very useful option. Even if you are not looking at citizenship, just having a lifelong permanent residency that doesn't require any minimum physical presence, does not hurt at any point in time. If the need arises, you can convert this into nationality. I'm going to discuss a couple of things here. One is how do you convert into nationality, and before that, how do you even get this immediately, right? So let's talk about the thresholds. If you have a monthly income, right, most people have a monthly income, and if it is 4,400 approximately, you can get temporary residency. If you have 6 months of proof, let's say you have 6 pay stubs, you can apply for the temporary. Let's say you bump that up to 7,500 approximately, you can upgrade to, you can directly get permanent residency. The second option, right, second way I should say, so this is one way. If you don't have this or don't earn enough, and if you have a bank balance, you can instead show that and qualify. If you're showing bank balance, then the threshold is $74,000 approximately in USD. You got to show that for 12 months, right? Not for 6 months, but for 12 months. And if you bump that up, right, if you have higher balance, let's say it's 300K, you can combine some other assets. That's not an issue. doesn't have to be cash strictly. Some other forms of assets or accounts can be combined. If that is up to 300k USD, then you can directly get permanent residency. Now, permanent residency does have some additional criteria, so it's very important to look at all of that and decide where you fit. Most of you guys would fit in the temporary residency category. Now, how do you convert this into citizenship? You do convert this into citizenship in the 5th year, right? You can apply for nationality between year number 3 and year number 5. You do the required physical presence at that time in the country. So before, you have extreme flexibility. At that time, you want to complete the time on the ground, right? And there are some creative ways that people come up with. I always recommend follow the law, keep things legal, and then you can acquire this nationality. So this is the Mexican option. The second on the list is the tax optimized solution, which is Paraguay. And Paraguay is important because territorial taxation, so it's not going to bother you or hunt you down across the world for any dues, right? They do territorial, so they're only concerned with their own territory, their own country. If you have income or you do business or you have involvement locally, then that's what they are most interested in, or that's what they are only interested in. The other big benefit is the tax rates. If you're looking at personal income tax rate, it's at 9%, super low. And if you're looking at corporate, let's say you want to establish a company and run it out of Paraguay, or you want to establish a Paraguayan company, then you're looking at 10% corporate tax rate. So either which ways is super friendly from a tax perspective. There are ways to get citizenship in Paraguay. The beauty of Paraguay is that the residency itself is flexible. You can either get temporary or permanent. If you're getting temporary, there literally is no qualifying criteria, just your basic documents. And if you're looking for permanent, then you got to give a declaration that you're going to move a certain capital in Paraguay over the next 10 years. So immediately, you don't have to do this. You can collect the permanent residency and then slowly you can move that capital. It's not a big capital, it's a small sum of money that you can move into Paraguay to satisfy that requirement. And during the course of time, you can either naturalize if you want to, or just leave the temporary or the permanent residency as is. Now, do you get this in one day? Paraguay happens in 2 days, right? So we always say leave the second day aside. It could run into a couple of days. You spend a couple of, let's say you do the paperwork ahead of time, right? We always emphasize on collecting your documents ahead of time so that we have it, the attorney has it, and she can then prep everything. And then the moment you have a date in mind that you want to travel, let's say you're doing Mexico on a certain day, the next day you're traveling somewhere, the next day you're going to Paraguay, we just need that date when you want to be in Paraguay, and you have to spend a couple of days, right? So 1 day more than Mexico, and then you can complete the process and leave. The residency card itself takes a few days to create, and our attorney can collect it and mail it back to you wherever you are. So all of that can be completed fairly easily. The same is applicable to permanent residency. You're just changing your category, but the same process applies. The third on the list is the fastest citizenship that's possible. One of the fastest that is possible through natural means. It's a very powerful passport, and I'm going to discuss Argentina here. Now, Argentina is tightening the screws before they increase the time to naturalization or they make some drastic changes. This is the time to look at Argentina. It's such a beautiful option. People keep talking about it, but this is the time. This is the final time, right? So it's available now. With Milei and his plans for future, he is obviously trying to copy some of the Western countries, right? That's where he is influenced from. So it's only a matter of time. Maybe in the next few months, there could be sweeping changes and this all could change. In Argentina, again, you don't need the beauty. The strongest point of Argentinian residency is that you don't need a specific type of visa for certain nationalities. You can directly enter visa free and then change your status inside the country. Now, this is not applicable to all nationalities. It all depends upon what nationality you hold. If you have a certain nationality, is fairly straightforward, fairly easy. Certain nationalities, this process becomes a little tougher, and this is the time. This is the time when all the changes are happening. And if you want to understand more about this process, more of this program, or any of these 3 programs, you can always click the link, book a call. We can discuss and see which one fits best and get you started with the option of your choice. Now, in Argentina, you get the precaria on the same day. So again, as I said, for the first two, similarly for Argentina, we do the lifting, the heavy lifting ahead of time. All your paperwork, all your application is created, the package is ready. The day you land in Argentina, that day or the next day, based on how comfortable you are, we go to the immigration, right? The attorney goes with you to the immigration and gets you the precaria on the same day. You're all set. You can travel, you can leave. And then again, like Paraguay, in a few days, once the residency card, the DNI is generated, once it's created, that can be mailed by the attorney to your home location, wherever you are. And then in a couple of years, right, you can apply for nationality. Now, there is some discussion going on, some very interesting discussion going on, where Milei wants to have a more strict residency requirement for Argentina on one side. But the positive news is that Milei is talking about awarding citizenship under exceptional means. The language that he has published is that he would enforce a continuous physical presence or residency in Argentina for those 2 years in order to apply, or unless someone has exceptional merit. So what does that mean? So if you have exceptional merit, maybe he comes up with a special category where you can directly naturalize, who knows, right? So we are tracking that very closely. Our attorney is monitoring that very closely with immigration. There's a lot of fraud associated with the Argentinian options. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful who you're dealing with. Our attorney is one of the biggest law firms in Argentina, which has multiple offices and multiple attorneys at different locations. So we track the legit requirements as they happen, as they unfold. And as I said, at any point in time you want to get started with this one, this is the best time. And when I say this is the best time, none of this information is legal advice or immigration advice. You're going to discuss this with the attorney, confirm everything with the attorney, either our attorney or any other attorney that you feel you want to go with. You got to confirm with them, because they are the ones who are going to apply. And before you go, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss out on any of the changes. I'm going to track Argentina, I'm going to track Mexico, I'm going to obviously track Paraguay, and any changes that happen, you're the first one to be notified if you're subscribed to this channel. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and catch you in this next one. This is an interesting one because this talks about 3 fast EU citizenships for English speakers, and one of these options almost does not require any physical presence, which is also unfortunately at the risk of going. So before it goes, hop onto this one. All right, catch you there.